Dzień dobry, YouTube. Witamy to another episode of Behind the Scenes of the ABC series The Middle, Season 9, filming at Warner Brothers Ranch. My dear friends, oh my goodness, it is actually less than 24 hours since I have uploaded my previous video of this series of the Behind the Scenes, and oh my goodness, you all, with your immense positivity and joy and excitement, have just inspired me so much that I knew, okay, I can't wait, even though my mustache is tickling my nostril. I can't wait, and I need to jump right on into getting another episode made and out to you all as quickly as possible, and I am so thankful for each and every one of you that we get to do this, that we get to continue this preservation of film and entertainment history, as well as, quite frankly, my history of my life and what I got to do on this amazing show, which really was just an absolute dream come true of a project to be able to work on professionally. So, we are here in the here and now. I'm so excited to be with you all. To hit pause real quick, grab something to drink, grab a snack to eat, cozy up with me, even though summertime's not really for cozying. It's more for chilling. Chill with me. My beverage of choice today, because it is very, very hot out here in Southern California. I am sweating up a storm and I don't want to dehydrate and die. I'm drinking Gatorade, the good old thirst quencher. I'm a cool blue Gatorade kind of guy. Here, I'll bring it closer to my face. Now you can see. So we're gonna just jump right on in together. Cheers, let's hydrate up. That's the ticket. Alrighty, and without further ado, let's jump right on in here. Alrighty, so if you heard me make mention in the previous episode when I was talking about the 200 episode celebrations, there was a picture where I said, yes, here's our Crafty woman, our head of Crafty, Maricela. And what we're actually going to do right now is we're going to embellish on what is Crafty. If you don't know, there's a lot of different like little laws and nuances, and of course, as I've made mention, many different departments that go into working on a television set to make a show happen. Some of my favorite people, and two of the most important departments in my opinion, are the departments that feed everybody. And so we have two of them. We have catering, which are the sanctioned official meals on a set. So again, your union needed lunch and things like that. They whip up breakfast in the morning as well. We have them, they are catering. And then we also have an amazing group of people that are the craft services department, which are the snacks. Sometimes they have hot snacks and things like that. Maricela, I kid you not, is probably one of the best craft service people. Her and her whole crew are some of the best craft service people that we could ever have been given for the entirety of the show. And also she works with her husband, Sal, and he was an absolute legend as well. They took the absolute best care of us and fed us well in the sense of it tasted good, but it was most certainly not healthy food all the time. Okay, I'm gonna establish that right now. But what they would do is they would come up with every day, they would have all of the regular snacks that were out at the craft service table all the time, which you've seen pictures of that at different points in time through this series. But also, they would come up with hot snacks, and that would be about 3, maybe 4 hours into the workday, because lunch wasn't until 6 hours after the workday began. And then they would also come up if we were working late with like a second meal, and that could be anything from pizza to Popeye's chicken or things like that. Like they would come up with stuff every week that we could enjoy if we had those particularly long work days, like a Fratter Day where we start Friday morning and we don't go home till Saturday morning. And so that's what you're seeing here. This is one of those times where it's in the morning, and this is like our hot snack for the day. I think this is like a taco burrito bar, I believe. And they also had some box salads here. This is outside of Stage 33. And that trailer that's behind the red Prius is actually the craft services trailer where they work and they prepare food out of and store up snacks and all that other stuff. And so that's what you're seeing here. So you're seeing some crew lined up. They're getting their vittles. Mama Debbie took this photo, so I'm probably close behind getting ready to eat. And also, they would always decorate their Crafty area. Here's me with Maricela. Oh my goodness, such an absolute sweetheart. Let me tell you what, too, this is so cool. So she was a mom. Sal, her husband, and Maricela, they had kids together, and they would come to the set with frequency, which was really cool. But obviously, she's Hispanic. And so today, all of this Hispanic food that she is presenting for everyone, she made herself. So, like, when you have a Hispanic mom making Hispanic food, it's mom food quality Hispanic foods. And And to this day, I have not been able to find as good of chorizo sausage burritos as I have Maricella's, because it was just mwah, chef's kiss, glorious. Get your sour cream on there, a hot sauce, and all the other toppings, and you're in Fat City. I'm salivating now thinking about it. It's so good. And we're making this like an Atticus Eats video in your mind. Major sweetheart, loved her family. They took outstanding care of us the whole way through, and I'm so grateful for them. Now we're here in stage 31. This is actually where the official normal craft service table is at. This is actually cool because it's the opposite end of the spectrum. This is like a second meal at night because we had a longer work day today, and you can see here on the left side that they got Baron's Pizza, or Baron's. I can't remember what the official pronunciation was, but you can see everybody's chilling out and chewing on some pizza and also grabbing some other vittles and drinks and napkins and stuff like that. So everybody's chilling out, having a great time on the sound stage. And that's how they would take care of us. You need to feed the army, you know what I mean? Okay, so now, without a bunch of people milling about and chewing on some food, this is also a mid-morning hot snack that she made up, but also it's a great view of how the crafty table really looked. And really hit pause on this video now and just take a look at everything that you see here from left to right. We've got everything from all of our cutlery and condiments and napkins that are over here on the left, moving over to a whole myriad of different chewing gum and mints and things like that, to a bunch of fresh fruit, to other little like cracker snacks, lollipops. We've got various nuts and trail mix, moving on over to granola bars, to little pre-packaged pocket items of like trail mix, cereals in the little cups. We have a little donut dispenser if you wanted to get a donut in the morning and have a little mid-morning snack, or bagels. They would do a lot of bagels and stuff like that too. I remember eating a lot of really good toasted bagels with cream cheese, peanut butter, jam, bread. And then over here on the far right, which I think there's a picture of here in a minute, you'll see a whole coffee cart with a whole bunch of different coffee selections. We had a Keurig because we were extra fancy, as well as a fridge full of all different kinds of drinks, sodas, teas, water, you know, anything that any person could want, we had it on this crafty setup. And then here in the front too, you can see they offered up chips and things like that, as well as some fried chicken strips today, chicken tenders, chicken fingers. That was what the little snack was for today, and she set that up and made it all nice for all of us to be able to eat and enjoy, which was really, really, really cool. Such a good, tasty time. Here's me in my set chair enjoying a snack in between shots of a particular scene. And that was really the thing. There were times for us as the actors especially where we could get locked on the set literally for like 2 hours straight and not be able to leave. And when I say lock on the set, I mean we're actually on the set filming, because how many takes do you need to do? How quick is it to tighten up, or do they need to change camera angles or whatever? I always relate it to like you're on deployment in the military, where you get sleep where you can, you eat where you can, because you don't know what's going to happen. That's what set life really is. If they say it's going to take 10 minutes to change a camera angle, I mean, you try to cram as many things as you can into those 10 minutes. Go to the bathroom, go wolf down some food, get a drink, maybe brush your teeth, you know, take a look at your lines and refresh yourself, whatever it might be. And so the ability to have awesome food of any kind, but especially hot food, that you could just get that hot food comfort, this really helps you. It is a morale booster, and it will keep you going on the long 16-hour plus work days that we had to work in season 9 especially. Oh, and also too, in that photo you can see all the grips and their little get up behind me, beyond my chair I should say, and they're working on all different kinds of things all the time. There's a reason why they call grips hammers, because they're always working on something, and if they're not, well, then they're sitting around ready to be called, hey, be a hammer on that. But here's another area too, and I believe I brought this up in the previous video. This next picture is really cool because here's a great prime example of when a director actually reached out and catered something special as a treat for the crew. And this was something that we got quite often near the end. I can't remember who it was that liked this, but somebody in the production office really liked this this particular food truck. They brought them out here more than once, but this is called King Cone, and it's an ice cream truck pretty much. It's just you get awesome ice cream on set, fresh awesome ice cream on set, nothing prepackaged. And so this was a really cool treat that we got near the end. This also is a very good example of why I did flare up with bursitis in season 9 of the show, and you see me walking with a cane in some shots, because yeah, like when you eat food like this, you're gonna get inflamed in your joints and stuff like that can happen. But anyway, that's the King Cone truck. They're doing pretty solid. Here's me in my office actually with my cookies and cream King Cone that I procured. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't remember King Cone being particularly good. I feel like it was one of those things like, here it's available to me, so I'm gonna partake in it. But like Dairy Queen's Blizzards, they take this out back and just spank it, you know what I mean? Same with Baskin Robbins, and even McDonald's ice cream is just, I have access to better ice cream than I did with this. So if ever I get blessed with being a producer or a director on a television set, I've learned now, and so I'm gonna give my crew the hookup for sure. Okay, my cool people, so now we are actually going to be changing gears just slightly. And we talked a bit about fueling the actors and the crew and the director and everybody on the set with good food and awesome, morale-boosting vibes in order to do the work that we do. But what exactly is that work that we do? My dear friends, I have a huge treat for you. I have a few video clips here that were hand-taken by my mom showcasing actual filming of scenes, because this is where scene creation, the actual nitty-gritty of a production, that's what you're about to see right now. So I'm going to sort of talk you through different things. I'm not too sure how much audio of the original video clips are going to be in here. I'm going to be working on that with Rachel, my editor, and we'll get things sorted for you all. I really want to present this in a great way, but again, as is consistent with the vibe of this series of videos, I want to make it like here are my home movies, and I'm able to showcase it to you all, have it be presented in that professional documentary preservation kind of way. So I'm gonna just let this next clip run, but what you're gonna be able to see is the perspective in this first one of Video Village, where the director and the writers will sit, and you're gonna be watching an actual scene being filmed. This one is of me and Neil, so I'll talk you through the beats of this because you can't really hear the dialogue. But as you can see here, there are two cameras that are going in this shot. You have John, who's over me onto Neil, and then you have Brett, who is over Neil onto me, and we're talking back and forth about whatever this scene is, speaking with each other, which is an interesting time. So this is the perspective of what a director would see as they're directing. And Lee, who's directing this episode, she actually is right on set next to the cameras because that's how she prefers to direct, but the script supervisor and everybody else is here. So that's what actually a scene looks like on camera. But now let's take you out of that and get you behind that particular point in time. And so now what's so really fascinating is look at the amount of people, and I know that I keep talking about this, but it's worthy of belaboring. Look at the amount of people that are behind the scenes, behind the camera, that need to watch the rehearsals, that watch the filming, that are engaged in multiple different assets, facets, and avenues of the creation of a scene. Just a scene. And then you take those scenes and make them coherent for a show. And so as you can see here, we have a whole slew of people. I see props here to script supervisor, to unit production manager, who's the guy, the short guy that's right in front in the plaid shirt, to producers, to ADs, to camera. We have a whole team of people that come together, and we all have to collaborate with each other in order to make a scene happen. And this is a different scene, of course, but it's still the same concept. And then now you see these people being engaged in their work in the scene. So like here's a great example of John Joyce, who is our 8-camera operator, and he's set up on his camera with the lighting in a scene, behind actors in a scene, being able to watch and set up a camera shot for a scene taking place. This is a props guy, the African-American guy here on the right side. That's Donovan. He's one of our prop guys. And you can see other camera and lighting and grip people milling about and getting a shot set up. And then here again, all the different crew, the second teamers, the ADs, the director, the wardrobe, everybody watching as a scene is being rehearsed now. So this is without the cameras. This is where we get the feel of a scene, get our choreography down, get a vibe for the scene really well, and then be able to prepare everyone to set up the necessary equipment the way that it needs to be set up to achieve the director's vision for the particular scene. And this is obviously, of course, out in front of the Heck House on Blondie Street. So this is the Heck House exterior for the front. And as you know, if you've been watching the other episodes of this series of videos, we have our exterior that's for the back at a different house on this street. And then we have the interior of the Heck House set up on stage 31, which you've seen a lot of thus far. And then now, that same scene, they're all set up. We have Neil speaking with Mr. Donahue. I forget this gentleman's name, the actor's name. You can type it down in the comment section below. But here is a really good depiction of the wizardry that we have here in Hollywood. Not all cameras are alike, and how you deploy those cameras is so completely different with every single shot. So the way that the director wanted to achieve this shot, they wanted it to be where they were able to roll in or pull out. And so they set up dolly cameras, dolly style cameras, which are on these rigs here that you see with the wheels and everything like that, but they set them up in such a way where they're on these tracks that are built up on Apple boxes, so it makes a clean, smooth, even transition. And you can see here in the photo how it's actually built up where it's completely even with the sidewalk, even despite the driveway. And this is the amazing stuff that the grips and the camera department would have to collaborate with each other to be able to build out to achieve the shots that their director and the director of photography wanted to achieve for a particular project. And you can see too Sean, our sound guy, who's standing and monitoring the sound. Because we were outside and the Burbank airport was literally like 3 blocks away from this studio, what they decided to do is they decided to wire us with wired microphones and have a boom mic recording at the same time. And then what they could do is match up the audio files to make it sound like there isn't any ambient noise like from the road outside on Hollywood Way or anything else, to be able to make it have the immersion of the show that it needed, right? And so that's, again, all these different things that you have to think about, and all these different crew members bring together to achieve a completely immersive, real-world show. I remember there was somebody who typed, I think it was in the comment section on my Twitch stream last night, and they said, wait, you mean to tell me that The Middle wasn't a reality show? But hey, we did good. We did good. But this is a fantastic shot where you get to see how that equipment gets deployed. Okay, and then now, this is an awesome video clip of me getting ready to film a scene. This is the scene where Brick asks Cindy to prom, and I think she initially says no. And I'm gonna let these next 2 video clips play out. I won't talk over them too much, but Lee Shalit-Chamel, who's the director here, she's giving me some notes on how specifically they wanted me to touch the paper. Paper gets ripped open and I get revealed, and then we're gonna see the filming of that. So how Lee directed, and then how that scene came to fruition. So take a watch at this. Location, bump. Yeah. Okay, got it. And then here's me hanging out this still photo here. This is me with my boy Joseph. He was my set PA who helped me out with a lot of different stuff on set if I needed anything from water to a pair of sides, or getting me to and from the set, or getting me wired or whatever. He had my back the whole time. He was my ears for what was going on the radio, and to help me be where I needed to be when I needed to be there for whatever the shot was. So this was a really cool photo that Mom snagged. I got to be all dressed up for a special occasion.
Only because I have this great
So here's Mom recording what this looks like.
Action! Cue! And it's cut. Okay.
That's what it was like. We get to film and make a story happen, and there's all these different beautiful, I don't even know what the word is, nuances really is what it is. There's so many different nuances that nobody can fully and completely comprehend about going into a scene creation. And again, what you just saw there in that specific clip were 2 shots. We still had to do an over onto Cindy for her to say no, and then craft that whole scene together, and that was just that segment of the show. And then that gets expanded out to an entire episode, and then multiple episodes get made in that same way that create a season, and then we have our series. It's so remarkable to see, and for me, being able to look back on this and what we did and how long we did it, and the work ethic that we had while doing it, it's beyond special. You know what I mean? It's incredible. Continuing on with that same episode, here we are back in the Heck House, and this was actually the prom day episode. Continuing on with this particular episode because it was such a profound episode. And actually, this was the episode that was the last time that we got to see Cindy and Brick together on camera in the show. And I think that there was something really amazing about that, and I might talk more on that here in a little bit. But as you can see here, this is a rehearsal, so we're getting everything ready. We're inside the Heck House. You can see how the Heck House is designed. Family photos that they used, like a living set, especially when you get all the crew and cast and everyone involved. You can see me in between a few different people, including Casey Burke, and Casey's all done up with her hair and makeup for the prom episode, but not quite in her dress yet because it's just a rehearsal. And we're all just here and ready to go, getting our notes from Lee on what we do and how we do it for this particular scene. And then continuing on, I mean, we're looking at other different set life pieces here, and again, it's all these different angles of the Heck House, different angles of rehearsals. You can see me there with my sides. I believe that's Patty, and so Lee and Patty are talking right now about the scene, and then I'm getting some insight from Ken Wada, the first AD. And then here's yet another scene. I forget what episode this was. This was an episode where someone needed to go to the hospital. I forget who. Yet again, another rehearsal where we're getting ready for a scene, and when we did this particular scene, I remember laughing so much with Patty. For whatever reason, the way that this floor was designed, she could not find her mark to save her life, but it was a very specific mark that she needed to hit because she came into the framing of the scene while the camera was moving with her or moving out to meet her, and then it would complete the framing of the scene. And so I remember that we were just guffawing because she couldn't figure out where her mark was and laughing at herself because it's like, where am I supposed to stand? And it was just such a funny time. But amazing too, because here's a set that they literally had to design, put up, and then tear down in a week. We had to make a full-fledged, real-looking emergency room in a week. And just how amazing is that this whole thing had to be designed and very specifically laid out and then matched with Lee's vision for the camera shots and angles and the choreography of the scene. And then this is a day of, there was a lot of work going on, and we talk about scenes and how valuable they are. I have mentioned this a few different times. I forget precisely where. I know it was here on the channel, where there was a scene that is my absolute favorite scene of the entire show. And it was a scene that to me would have truly completed the character of Brick, but also what he stood for all of you, the fans. And it was the episode where Brick was in, like, jail detention at school. And this was at the point in time where I think he and Cindy were broken up. They weren't actually back together yet, so this was before the prom episode. And Brick had this beautiful monologue speech where it was just him and the principal of the school. He had this speech where it was essentially conveying to the principal, look, I understand that I'm different. I understand that I don't pick up on things the way that other people do, but I'm still me. And I am confident in knowing who I am as a person and that I do follow the beat of my own drum. No one can tell me that that's wrong, because what can you really define to be normal? And we're all meant to be unique, and we're all meant to be different. And that was the spirit of the monologue. And it was the scene that myself and the director Lee, we spent so long honing and perfecting and crafting this scene to be as perfect as it possibly can, because we knew what it meant, that it meant such a beautiful anthem reach out to all of you, the fans, and say you are understood. This is the epitome of this character, and everybody who can relate to this character, this is like a mantra of dialogue and of monologue that we all can tap into and be proud of. And for me as an actor especially, this was the epitome of Brick being the amazing character that I loved him to be, and what he stood for and what he meant for all of you. And they cut it out. And they cut it out for the most absurd reasoning, because the creator of the show said, oh, well, it was too good. And for me, it's like, that's not an excuse. But getting off of my soapbox there for a minute, this is actually that day. And I remember posting this photo on Facebook because we were in between shots. I remember a bunch of you on Facebook were like, Atticus, you look like you're a million miles away. And it's because I was so deeply into the character and crafting this scene. It was like being in a different world. And if you're an artist, you know that exact feeling that I mean. This can be any medium of art, whether you're writing or you're painting or you're drawing or you're acting or you're directing or you're editing. Whatever the medium of art may be that you're doing, this is this zone that we go into in our minds where we are kind of beyond ourselves and yet completely at one with whatever the artistic piece is. And that was a beautiful shot that my mom captured, and I thought it was so cool because even though that scene was just, you know, flushed down the toilet of the editing room floor, at least I have this record of this scene that was very, very, very profound and special to me. And I so desperately wish there was some way that I could discover this scene or find this scene and be able to get it out there to you all because of how profound it really was. And then once again, here is yet another rehearsal that you see here. A different director, writer. This is the episode where Brick tried to get a different girlfriend, and he got that dark-haired girl who he grabbed a hold of her hand and he just never let go until he realized that Cindy still had the hots for him and was jealous. So that was this episode, and this was a very fun time. This actress who played the other love interest, she was very sweet, very kind, definitely was very perfect for this role. We had such a great time together. It was so fun. We've got our sound mixer Joe here in the foreground, and just opposite of him is Christina, our second AD, and we've got the rest of our team milling about and getting ready for yet another rehearsal. And then here's a beautiful artistic shot that my mom took of yet another rehearsal that we were doing, but she was looking through the grates that led into the dining room area and that you could see into different parts of the Heck house. And what was so cool about these grates is actually they were removable, so that way the cameras could get in and create shots where you could see through the dining room into like the kitchen or into the living room or wherever it may be. And so these were completely removable, and there were multiple things that were in the Heck house, not just walls, but like the kitchen counter, fridge, walls behind the fridge, and a whole bunch of other stuff that could move, so that way cameras could be placed strategically to achieve the shots that the director and the director of photography were hoping to achieve. Knowing the length of this video and yet still wanting to preserve this specific topic, I'm gonna rattle off a little bit faster on these next couple of photos, but it's because I want to make sure that they get fit into this video specifically while we're on the topic of the amazing members of the crew, all of those different details that people don't think about getting into television production. Here's another image. This is in front of the medic building. This road that you're seeing all these different crew members walking down, this is the road that used to lead to the Walton house when it was still built up and on the set. If you'll remember earlier on, I was speaking about the episode where John Cullum, who played Grandpa Big Mike, he wanted to just lay down in the woods and die. Axel and Brick were with him with that, and they were trying to ask him like why and convince him to not do that. This is on that road. This is that day. And what you're seeing here is you're seeing a whole bunch of different crew members and everybody ready to go. For this specific shot, we don't have B camera operating. That's why you see B camera over here on the right side just chilling. It's an A camera only for the specific scene. But we've got our set PAs working with stuff here at Video Village, the quick setup Video Village that we have right here, and everybody else with their equipment and everybody kind of flooding into the set getting ready to see. I don't believe this was a rehearsal. I believe this was actually shooting particular scenes, so that's what they're doing now. So amazing shot, and again, as I've mentioned previously, it's amazing to me as I look back on all of these different things, scenes, sets, everything, just how amazing it was that production, set deck, and props and greens, landscaping people, how they were able to stuff and fit and find a way of designing whatever the show needed on the lot. Earlier on in the show, I know that there were several times that we had to do location shoots where we would go out somewhere and film, and there were times where you couldn't help that. It was very specific that you needed that. But for the most part, man, they designed what they needed to design on this lot, this studio lot, Warner Brothers Ranch. And it amazes me. They made it fit, they made it work, they designed it seamlessly, and it just became a totally immersive piece of every episode of any story that we needed. It's so truly remarkable. So there you go. You take a corner in front of the medical office and you turn it into an abandoned road. Now, this is also one of my absolute favorite episodes. This is the episode when Brick and Mike go to the Planet Nowhere convention, and oh my gosh, my nerdy heart was so proud of everybody who went into designing the convention center, the Comic-Con-esque vibe that was this set. It was just so insanely cool. And so you see me and Lee and Neil, we're getting ready to rehearse a scene where they're just showing up to the convention center. You can see how they designed that and everything that it entailed, and all the different, set design pieces and the books and everything like that. And then here's me with my ridiculously cool costume. Comment down below. I want to test you all. What was Brick dressed as for this episode? And did he dress as the same character previously? Answer in the comment section below. I want to see if you guys remember. Here he is. He's got all of his rocks on his chest. He's got his custom cloak, which literally was wardrobe just sewing a blanket together and adding some patches to make it look like a cloak. And then this handmade fur hat and cardboard nose. This is our wardrobe person, Lola, working on me, putting on my finishing touches for my outfit, making me look all ready to go and getting me ready for the scene. And then here, again, it's not just the actors that are the main actors of the show. It's all the background actors who need to be worked out too to match and fit the setting. And man, did they do a killer job. Here's Joseph once again, and he's helping to cue different actors, background actors and actresses, and they're all dressed to the nines and in their character outfits and everything like that. Absolutely, the nerddom vibe is just spewing here, and it is so insanely cool. I love it so much. Well, on that note, amazing people, that is going to conclude this episode of the behind the scenes filming of season 9 of The Middle, but don't you worry, there are many more episodes to come. I hope you're enjoying all of these episodes. I am having such a fun, cathartic time being able to share my memories with you all, and also again being able to make the documentary of The Middle season 9 and be able to hang out and have fun and laugh and reminisce with you all. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and the best way to help me with this video, especially in this particular series, is to share this video on all of your social media. We want to preserve this history, and all of you helping me out in that way goes very long to be able to do that. Also, my dear friends, couple links in the description box below to my Twitch and my Cameo pages. You don't want to miss out on those. Comment down below with your thoughts, my amazing cool friends. Can't wait to see you all in the next one. Do widzenia.
I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time, something I look back and say that was a great time, cause man I just hate when the years pass by the